So, first up.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now, are these original Ronin pages, or are these just color?
So here's what's interesting. This is what's really interesting. This is Lin Varley's original Blue Line color work, and so this is actually something that I've been really interested in. The way that she colored those books, Ronin and Dark Knight Returns and a bunch of other stuff, is she would print out Frank's pencil or his inks in Blue Line on Bristol. Okay, and then paint the Blue Line Bristol, and then they had a transparent overlay of his inks. So this is what the final image looks like. But if you pick up the
overlay,
yeah. Oh, sorry.
Damn, that's time consuming as hell.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah. So she'd have to.
So it's just a nice color composition, and then
so
the
it's
end
not.
result.
It's not really the original art, though. His original pages are totally.
No, this is an original Lin Varley, and you can see she actually signed it right there. It says LV.
Yeah.
Did she maybe use a light table? And
she would have had to. She would have had to. She would have to put the black the black line, the ink line underneath it, paint it, and then put it on top.
No, you didn't. You did not listen to a word I said.
I listened to what you said. It just
do you see the work right there? She printed it out in Blue Line on Bristol, and then painted the Bristol board over the Blue Line.
Okay.
Black. And then if you see up at the top, the way they got the final image was to have the transparency placed on top. Here's the tape. And then they would just scan this page. And that was the cover. And they did this for every page. And I do not know the pages with lettering. I was actually trying to figure that out today. If she painted the lettering, the back of the lettering acetate white, or if the lettering was actually done on a different thing. I'd actually have to look at my black and white Frank Miller book to see. But this is pretty cool, right?
Now, what kind of paints did she use? Like acrylics or?
Probably gouache. Or what Avery calls it gouache, but gouache. It doesn't say, but it's either acrylic or gouache. It's got to be thin. It's pretty dope, isn't it?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty.
I got a new respect for Ronin just from that one page.
Yeah, I really like process pieces. Like, I love original art and all that stuff. This is pretty cool, man. This is really really cool. So this is something that it's probably out of my price range, but I'm keeping an eye on.
That is nice. That is nice. It's a good image too.
It's cool, right?
Yeah. All right, what else you got? Oh, Bruce Timm, fantastic. Yeah,
Bruce Timm. This is Marker.
Yeah, I love that. I'm just absolutely adore.
Isn't that crazy?
Guy. Yeah. No.
I could do that.
I'd be surprised if it was anything else.
Yeah.
He really like excels at just using whatever you have. He could probably use Crayola markers and make it look good.
Oh yeah, he's phenomenal. He's a painter.
All right, what else you got? Oh, nice.
This is a Steve Scroce.
Oh my God, that just made me want to quit for a second. Hold on. It's like, dear God.
Man, that's a much later issue too. His art early on was,
Yeah, Steve Scroce, X-Men.
Can you send that in the link to that in the Twitter link?
Here, I'll just save image as, and then you can have it.
Okay.
There's another Steve Scroce in the mix tonight.
All right, let's see what else you got.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one.
Oh wow.
Ooh, Marc Silvestri.
No, dude, Jim Lee.
Oh no! Why was I? Oh, you know why I was thinking Marc Silvestri?
This is Wildcats number 5, page 18.
Yeah, but he's going up against. Isn't that?
Oh, the girl, the redheaded girl.
Warblade.
No, but he's going up against the redheaded girl that.
Don't worry, I'll edit this part out of the video. I'll still
be smart at the end.
In the end.
Right. Oh, I see. It kind of links the two, the Cyberforce and Wildcats, whoever that character is.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
still think
probably.
that character.
Yes,
I
yes.
still think that character was a Jim Lee character.
Isn't this gorgeous though?
Yeah, I think that's why I
actually really thought they missed a good opportunity with keeping Wildcats and Cyberforce going, like it was in the shared universe and the way it was back then. I just feel they got lazy with it or something. I don't know what.
Well, they probably just started hating each other.
Yeah, that's it.
It's what's her name? Her name is Misery. Isn't that a great page though?
that is very cool.
Yeah, I would definitely own that page.
This is another Wildcats, number 6, page 22 and 23. Isn't that wicked?
That is cool.
Like, I don't know, like the black and white stuff is it's really nice. Like this was a little bit past when I really liked Jim Lee. He was a little too stylized at this point, but you can't beat it, man. I mean, hindsight being what it is, that's a fantastic page, right?
Yeah, it kind of drowned it out anything else. Even if there was good story, you wouldn't have known because you're like, forget the words. You know, there's just so much going on this page. It almost gives you. I remember as a kid, they used to literally give me headaches.
Yeah.
Like I could either look at the art or look at the art. I couldn't pay attention to any of the words, you know?
So
awesome.
This is a Marvel Comic Presents. I don't think I've ever seen this. It was number 45, page 7, but it's John Buscema, and it's Wolverine. So I was like, oh, that's really cool.
That's a cool one.
Isn't that nice?
Just a simple like bad guy right there that just it reminds me of Clayface.
So this is a John Byrne sketch from 1979 of Nightcrawler. And this is interesting because I've actually seen this before. This was actually on Heritage for sale, and then whoever purchased it, a lot of these times the things that get bought are by dealers. So they'll purchase it from one auction house and then push it to another.
Haven't we seen this before?
Probably. I think I highlighted it before. It's up for sale again.
So. Oh,
yeah, they just moved it. This is Comics Link, so this is not Heritage. So they switch. They go back and forth to kind of be like, oh, look, they assume that people aren't shopping on multiple sites, which is probably a good bet. But it's sad to see it up again, but it's also cool to see it up again. It's one of those that like I wish I could get, because it's one of the. I'm not a huge John Byrne fan, but this just is just awesome.
Well, when he's on, he's on. When he's kind of like John Buscema. When there's sometimes where he's just bland. I don't know if he was trying to meet a deadline or he just, so.
Hey, Kodiak, do you have a second?
Mm-hmm.
I just put a message in the chat. Just keep it to yourself, but see if you can do that for me.
Okay. So this is Uncanny X-Men 145, Dave Cockrum. And I just love that Storm. Isn't that awesome?
How do I get my screen back, guys, by the way? No, I'm serious, because I don't have the double screens anymore, so. Hold on, I got it.
Okay.
Andrew, you checking this out?
Yeah, that is gorgeous.
All right, next up. This is a John Romita cover. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that cool? John Romita is like the king of like heavy black ink, He really was a brilliant inker. Look at that. They even had to paste up this guy's face, like they redid it. Well, all that's pasted up. There's like cutouts everywhere.
Oh yeah.
I love that, man. I love they were just like, got to get done. Doesn't matter if it looked pretty. Just cut it up and paste it up there.
You know, as dynamic and as pretty as that page is, it doesn't compare to that Far Sector page where the main character is sitting down in a lounge chair reading what
with
looks
a
like
remote control. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I know.
you can't compare, you know? Ooh.
X-Force number 6.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
As you know, I've never been a huge Liefeld fan, but I definitely have nostalgia love for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And actually, this seeing this as a page is really cool. Like,
the
the wallpaper is yellow. I think that's this like old Zipatone or something he was using.
You want me to do that?
No, I'll do it.
Okay.
All right. Next up, this is Joe Madureira, Astonishing X-Men number 1. Like kind of a cool.
Wow.
Yeah. It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Early.
Oh wait, which? Oh man. See, there was still parts of this. Like X-Men had lost me, and I didn't like Avery says, I didn't like this cartoony, anime, X-Men. But parts of it just I loved. Like I loved the Apocalypse look during that era. You know.
Yeah.
So. But that said, some of my favorite books is during that Madureira. That was Madu. How do you say his name?
Madura is how I've always said it. Joe Mad.
It's Madureira though.
Madureira. Joe Madureira. Yeah. So this is interesting. This is Dark Knight number 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I found something. I was like, I love. Sometimes when you see these pages, you can kind of learn things. And I might be wrong. So, first it's Dark Knight. So you're just like, man, I wish I could have this because it's Dark Knight, and anything from Dark Knight is going to cost you like $10,000. Like it's just so expensive. But this is interesting. The title was Hunt the Dark Knight.
Yeah, I see that.
Now I don't remember the issues having their own title. So was that the original title?
Oh, I don't remember either. That's unusual.
Right? That could be like a little hidden nerd gem right there. It wasn't like Dark Knight Returns. It was Hunt the Dark Knight.
Now, wasn't the Dark Knight done in 9 panels? This is 16.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question.
Maybe this is something not. Is that from the original Dark Knight story?
I mean, it looks like it. I'd have to check. I genuinely don't know. I don't totally recognize the page, although the image of Robin looks really familiar to me.
Oh, so yeah, it does. It does. Go back up and see what it says it's from.
Well, it says Dark Knight. It says Dark Knight Book 3, page 5. It's Klaus Janson.
Okay.
And then it's just about Dark Knight Returns. Yeah. So I think it's based on what it's going for, it's telling me that it's from Dark Knight Returns. But isn't that cool?
Yeah.
And if it is a working title and that's one of the only pages it shows up on.
Well, who knows? If this is book 3, it's probably been on all the pages. But it's just interesting. I never knew that was a title in the running, and it's kind of cool to see.
It does make sense, though.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ron Friends, signed by Stan Lee. Nice.
No. No. Wait.
It's not Ron Friends.
Yeah, it is.
It's not.
Who is it?
You're never going to guess.
Looks
but it's signed by Stan Lee.
It looks frenzy.
It does. It's, it should tell you at the top here.
Is it a Romita?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, wow.
It's a 90s Romita. So not the best, and he was kind of older, Apparently, in older age, Don Romita draws like Ron Friends because it does look like a Ron Friends.
Well, just looking at it without no other
No,
reference.
that was a good. That
whatsoever.
would if I had just seen it, I don't think I would ever have guessed it as a Romita. But I liked the fact that it was a Romita with a big ass Stan Lee signature on it.
I always thought that not that they look like each other, but they have a contemporary since they were contemporaries. Always felt like Buscema and Romita could Buscema drew his a Buscema face. It's his face.
Yeah.
He used to draw his face. But sometimes you could get they had a similar look to their artwork.
Now, who inked that? Does it say?
I don't know. Secondary artist name was Dan Green, so maybe Dan Green finished it.
Yeah,
maybe that's why it looks so different than a John Romita. I mean, or he drew it and John Romita inked it. I'm not sure. That's a good question. But, all right, check this out.
Okay. Oh, wow.
John Romita is the Keith Richards of comic books.
Yeah.
That is a fantastic Scross.
Right?
I love it when he does, or when anybody does the multiple images.
Yes. And he did a million of them. Look at it. He jumps all the way down here, jumps here, does a bunch of spinning over here, and then swings.
Wow.
That's like 30 characters.
I could do better.
Look at that, dude.
Wow.
I'm almost not wanting to look at it. It's making me sick.
Blow that up so we can see a closer.
If you don't even focus on how many times he drew the spider, he look at the buildings. I mean, the buildings are just like, ugh.
Look at that.
But then he has Spider-Man all over him.
Zoom in on that if you can, just a little bit.
I am zoomed in. How much more?
We're just seeing your screen, so we're not.
Oh, son of a bitch! I've been zooming in on all these, and I forget that Zoom. Hold on.
Okay.
I forget that Zoom has this thing now where I have to share my desktop to actually like capture everything. That sucks. I've been zooming in on all of these.
Oh well, we've been seeing everything well enough.
How's that?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's scroll up so we can see some of the after effects. Look at that Kodiak.
Damn. Dude.
Look at on top of the building that split. Isn't that cool?
He's annoying as hell, you know?
Yeah. It is kind of... Yeah, I would really love to see his process because there's a secret to his science. Oh, God, it's so good.
Look at that.
Very nice.
You know what? Go back to it. Just the way he didn't detail any of the other spiders. He just detailed the one up front. And
Yeah, that's all you need, really.
Yeah.
What issue is this from, does it say?
Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 419.
I got to find that issue. That's awesome.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Very cool. Very cool. Oh, wow. Kodiak.
Yeah.
It's a Mark
I see
Teixeira painting.
Yeah, I see it.
That's nice.
Yeah, I get flustered with his books sometimes because he does a lot of tracing, but this is him at his best when he's doing what he does.
Yeah, it's a beautiful painting.
Now, what does it say that's from? Wolvie, Ultra, Flare. Oh, is that from a card?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a card. Wow.
I don't think I've ever seen that one, but
no. Now we should look for it.
Well, Ultra Flare was much later in this in the card series, so that's gorgeous.
Isn't that great?
Wonder how big it is. Well, it's on 11 by 17, so
yeah, it's 11 by 7. I mean, he painted big just so he could get a really dope looking card. I bet really small. That looks phenomenal. Probably looks photorealistic.
Yeah, I got to clarify my last statement. You can tell it was once again one of those ones where they either at the last minute it's like, Tex, we need you to draw this thing, or he was, trying to meet a deadline. But you know who he used to use a lot? He used to trace a lot. Are y'all familiar with wrestling at all?
Yeah, a little bit.
enough. There's that guy that used to always have the toothpick in his mouth, and he had jet black hair and would kick. Oh man, he was part of a team like Diesel and whatever.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, that guy. You'll see in all his Punishers, it's that guy.
Oh, okay, fun.
Yeah, it's
Fair.
cool. I'm looking for that Amazing Spider-Man.
So these are some of my favorite John Buscema pages. Wolverine, early Wolverine stuff. For some reason, all of the early Wolverine stuff that he did, the pages are all yellow and they just weren't taken care of. All the text is falling off.
Yeah,
which
I
makes
hate
it a
when that
shame.
happens.
Like for me, I don't think I'd ever buy these because I'm just a bitch and I like pristine white pages with, you know.
Do you know of any technique to clean up an original page like that?
I don't. I've never really looked into it.
God.
It's just sad, right?
I think you would ruin it more.
Honestly, I think when you get it to this point, you put it into a frame that has like protective, like really strong protective UV coating. Because that's really what this is. Like that's why, like clearly, like, and I've seen a lot of pages from these books, and they're all like this. And so that just tells me that either he had them or somebody had them that didn't really give a crap about them, and that's why you can have,
or it was the materials they used,
or the materials. But that's why you can have pages. This is a book from the 80s, right?
Yeah. So it was right. It was right after they used to throw boxes out behind studios.
Well, this is 1989, but then this is like 1960.
Right.
This is 1971, and it's a little yellow, but like, I mean, look at the difference in quality.
Yeah.
Right. Like this has normal aging, like a little bit of stainage, like that makes it look cool. The other pages you just know weren't really taken care of.
Yeah.
Right. So this is like this is John Romita Senior inking Buscema, I believe.
You'd probably hate working with me. I am so messy on my pages. It's just like, I know it's an amateur thing, but it
doesn't have to be. I mean, if your pages look dope, they look dope. It's just this was clearly not taken care of.
Yeah.
Now you could always, I mean, if you wanted to be anal about it, you could always get a copy of the comic, photocopy the pages, blow them up, cut out the word balloons, and put them back on the page. You could do that. Use like a photocopy of the actual comic itself. I've always thought about doing that for art that where the word balloons.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want to do that. You don't want to do that on these pages. These are because they're the originals. Like you'd basically be destroying the value.
You know what I would do is get a sheet of what is that?
Acetate.
Yes, and lay it on top, and then put the word balloons on it. And then when you displayed it where you're not touching the original art at all.
Yeah, that you could do that for sure. Yeah.
What was the issue? I know you wrote it down, Andrew. What was that issue of Spider-Man?
419, I think.
So
I got a video. I'm not going to forget. I got the video.
So this is interesting. This isn't something that normally I would like bookmark, but I just found it really engaging. So this is Flash 191 from 1969. It's early Ross Andrew. Okay. But look how cool this is. Like the shapes were very Kirby-esque, and I don't know. It's just the composition was really good. And I found it really engaging.
That is very nice,
right? I mean, for a big page, like that's pretty cool. Early Andrew.
Yeah. Wow.
God, another dude. I'm just hating on everybody today.
Yeah. And Art Adams Harley Quinn in a version of her classic costume. That's not actually her costume, but that's the one that would sell.
Yeah, that's for you. And there's one more for tonight.
All right, one more. Oh wow, that's from the annual, isn't it? The one with the terminus in it.
That's right.
See, I know my Art Adams. That's a nice page, but
isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah,
he signed it, and so it was April 11th, 1988 was the stamp on it, and then he signed it in 91. But look at just all the characters down there, and it's just beautiful. Psylocke and Storm.
Yeah, there's some anal retentive inking involved in there.
Well, yeah.
He's like Mike Miller. Just detail. Slave.
Now
Isn't that
that top panel doesn't have a lot to it, but it still looks nice.
Yeah, and it's still, again, maybe you're right. Maybe it was some of the stuff with the time or the paper that they were using, because this is also like totally toned yellow.
Yeah. Well, that also depends on what type of what you kept it in. If you just kept it out, if it wasn't any type of acid-free plastic or anything like that, it's going to yellow no matter what. So
Yeah.
oh, it's a shame.
I know, but it's still cool to see history, right?
How
And
do
that's
you
what I
share
got
your
for you
screen?
tonight.
Very nice. Those are awesome. Hey, everybody. Thanks a lot for checking out our video. If you like this content, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and join us again. We live stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday starting at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. We usually go for about an hour. We do drawing, we talk about comics, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Make sure you leave us a comment and let us know what you think. Thumbs up, thumbs down either way, and we'll catch you all next time.